Is that right?
No.
No, Tim
Trelawney.
Trelawney.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Tim Tebow's a football player, Charles.
Yes, he is.
Yes, Trelawney, who does, he does a passing first doctor, it was actually used in the 50th anniversary to give the first doctor one new line.
Yeah. No, that's John Jalor who
Oh,
does
is that John Jalor?
Yeah.
What was the line he said?
Tim does
Pertwee.
Does Pertwee, yeah.
What was the line he said? I don't remember.
It's calling the War Council of Gallifrey. This was the Doctor because.
Oh, you mean from the
Martell had
50th anniversary?
Yeah, in Day of the Doctor. There's
Okay.
the one line the first Doctor has when all the TARDISes show up to rescue Gallifrey.
I thought there was another one. I didn't know if the same person did one for the Big Finish.
Well, the Big Finish, I think they did do the same people.
Big Finish one for the first 3 Doctors. They got. I think
Or was it Coleshaw?
No, it wasn't Coleshaw. They got, because Coleshaw's done a little bit of work for Big Finish, but most of what he's done has been the comedic stuff, the Dead Ringers, for example, for BBC Radio
Right.
4.
It has been known.
Yes. For Light at the End, which was the Big Finish 50th anniversary story, they got, because they already have William Russell in there playing Ian Chesterton, so he does...
He also does Hartnell.
Yeah, he also does Hartnell, so he did Hartnell, Fraser did Troughton, and then Trelawney did Pertwee for the first time.
Right.
His Pertwee has gotten much better over time.
Yeah, it's really, and in fact, John Coleshaw doesn't do a half bad Pertwee either.
Right.
In addition to his famous Fourth Doctor version.
Yes.
But anyway, so there are some impersonators, and now Big Finish has started recasting some of the parts for people that are unfortunately no longer with us, and some who are still alive.
Yeah.
But don't sound, but couldn't pass off like Annika Wilson. Lovely as she is, wonderful as she is, she can't do Polly's voice exactly the way it was done in the 1960s.
Right.
So they have somebody else doing that, alongside David Bradley from Adventure in Space and Time, and then Twice Upon a Time, who is now doing his own set of First Doctor adventures. These are separate from like the Companion Chronicles and the Lost Stories and
right.
things like that.
And the first set of those came out just after the Christmas special aired back in December. It is a fantastic set. I mean, the whole idea behind the First Doctor Adventures was that they brought in, they had sort of cast the original TARDIS crew for an Adventure in Space and Time.
Right.
And had done it quite successfully, I think, at the very least in capturing the spirit of the people, if not necessarily the voices.
Yeah, that was the problem, though. They gave the actors very few lines,
right.
other than David Bradley, because everybody else, they don't. It's obviously not.
Yeah, but the whole idea behind the sets was they gave them the chance to actually go in and play that TARDIS crew proper in stories that are very evocative of the First Doctor era on TV. So if you're a fan of the Hartnell era on TV, I highly recommend the First Doctor Adventures. Set 1 came out in December. Set 2 is coming out next month.
Yeah, yeah. So, and these are sets, so there's multiples. I think 4 stories.
I think it's for the First Doctor Adventures. It's two stories told per 2 CDs. So
right.
basically 2 4-part stories and a bonus disc.
Right. In addition to past Doctors, they also do what they call current Doctors, but that actually includes 4 Doctors, and possibly adding, because now David Tennant's back in the lineup.
Yes.
So Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, Colin Baker, Peter Davison, and now David Tennant has done a set, and he'll probably become a regular, I hope.
We hope.
And they're still working on Matt Smith. Work on it. He probably won't join until after The Crown is done. And Tom Baker is in
and
there.
Tom was the one they couldn't get for the longest time.
The longest time, and then somehow BBC managed to get him with a script from Paul Mars, I guess. Yeah. And he enjoyed that so much that BBC Big Finish came to him and said, "We can do those scripts, and we'll feed you." And he was in. That was it. He was in. But yeah, they've also recast the Master, the Ronnie, and some of the other parts that are regrettably not available to be played by the current people for whatever reason. But yeah, some fascinating news stories there. They also do some spin-offs. Well, I wouldn't call these spin-offs exactly. The Ninth Doctor, the War Doctor, I guess, is I think part of the mythos now.
Oh yeah.
And so what a wonderful gift. I mean, first of all, it was incredible that they got John Hurt to do it at all, right? Then he shows up at Gallifrey, He had a blast. I got a chance to talk to him a bit, and we talked about the Elephant Man and some of the other stuff that he'd done. But he was just so delighted because he was telling me that he often doesn't get to meet his audience unless he does a play. And so he was just so pleased to be part of the Doctor Who family at last, and he's not just the substitute because Chris wasn't there. He's his own doctor, and he was very happy to be part of it. He enjoyed the show all of his life.
Yeah.
So it was great to have him in there. And then on top of that, just